recording. Yeah. I just wanted uh, to revise the conditional statements, loops, and the jumping statements one last time because I see that being used in many areas and in many ways in in the programming when it comes to automation or scripting or anything. So just I think it will be like 15 minutes or 20 minutes of revision, not more than that. Okay, and I know if you can answer the questions, that would be great because this is how we can practice. So that is the reason. Excuse me. That is the reason I wanted to revise it. So let me share my screen. Entire screen shade, hide, ignore. Okay, great. So this is a blank screen, blank. Okay, and what I request is here in the session I am using like a online compiler, but I request you all to get used to any of the IDEs which is in the market, like Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio or Eclipse or IntelliJ. I mean, Visual Studio Code is the best. I can say it's a open source and it's free, and it can run and execute many programming languages. So I will take one session on Visual Studio Code. Definitely, I'll take one session. But just if you have time at any point of time, just give a glance to it. Okay. So first, we will look at the if-else condition. Okay. We will look at the if-else condition. Okay. So now I'll write the if-else condition. If true, okay, then enter console.log. Uh, Hi. Okay. Then else else console.log by. Okay. Now tell me what will be the output of this code? What will be the output of this code? Screen is visible.
Hi.
Hi,
Yes.
right? Because why?
Yes.
Because we are saying
Condition
if
is true.
true, correct. So it will print hi. Now, if I say false here, what will be the output?
By else
Okay.
condition will be executed.
Yes, as we said, the condition is always false. So it will execute this line of code. So when the condition is true, it will enter in this block. When the condition is false, it will enter this block and it will print this code. Now, if I give, let me give some space. Okay. Okay. Now, if I give the negation symbol here, then what will be the output?
Hi.
Yes.
By
Why high? Because
Negation means false converted to true. That is,
cor-
if block is will be executed.
correct. Now, if I say true here, then what will be the output?
by
By else
Cor-
work will be
Perfect. Now we'll do one thing. We'll add else if here. Okay, we'll add else if, and we'll say this as true as of now, and then we'll write something called console.log. Let me give some number here. Okay, let me give some number. Okay, now I'll take this as true only. Okay, now what will be the output? What will be the output? Will it print hi, or will it print 9, or will it print by? Let me give some space. It will print hi. The reason being, here, if the
Yes.
condition is true, right? So it will enter this block and it will stop the code here. Okay, so see, hi. Now, if I say false here, now what will be the output?
9.
9, right? Yes,
By
correct. Because else if is true here. So it entered this block and it printed this code. Now, if I say false here,
It's
now
by
what will be the output?
by because both the
by
first
Yes.
two
Now, if I give some space and give a negation operator, now what will be the output?
9
Yes. Why? Because this false has
that
converted to true, right?
become yeah.
Right. Now,
converted to true.
yes. Now, if I say true here, now what will be the output? By.
I
Yes. Yeah. So it will check this code, this is false, and it will check this code, this is false. Then it will check, okay, both are false. So let me print this code as both are false. It enters this block of code and it will print this. Okay, we are good with if else and if else. Okay, now we'll switch to the switch condition. Okay, let's say switch condition, sorry, let week day equal to clear till here, right? It's all clear till here. Is it clear?
yes is clear Ashish.
Okay. So today is Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll say Wednesday and switch. Give the variable name. Then this is a syntax. Okay. This is a syntax. Now case. And I need to say, as we have used the string, so we need to use case Monday. We should not use case 1, case 2. It should be Monday. I mean, it should be the string cases. Okay. Console.log hi, then colon, then break. Okay. And let me copy the same. Then at the last, we say default, and we don't give any cases. We don't give any cases here. I mean, we don't give any string value or a number value here. We just say default colon, and then just we want to print something. We just go ahead and print it. Let's say we'll say by here. Okay, by. And we also we do we give a break or we don't give a break?
Yes, break is needed after each case.
No, after default. Do
After
we
default,
After
break is
default,
not
no,
needed. Break
correct?
no.
is not
Not needed.
Correct. Okay. Okay. So now what will be the output? Sorry. 1 minute. Sorry. My bad. Let me change the cases as well. Okay. I forgot to change the cases. Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay. And console break. I've written everything in one line. That is also fine. That is completely fine. You can write it in one line. Then default colon. Yeah. So now what will be the output?
Wednesday?
The output. What will be the output?
waving.
Correct. Correct. Now, if I say,
Um,
yeah, if I say Sunday, now what will be the output?
by
Correct.
By
Yes, correct. Now what I'll do here is, so we understood, right? So it should match. This should
yeah.
match here. If none of the case values matches, then it will print the default value. It will go ahead and print the default value. If it matches, if I say Monday here and Monday matches this Monday, so it will go ahead and print hi. And if we don't give break, what happens? If we don't give break, what happens?
It will not stop in Monday. It will keep going.
Correct. See, let's comment this and see what happens now. It went ahead and printed each and every output. I mean, each and everything which I've written in console, it has printed. So that is the reason we need to place break after each case, but it is not required after default because default is the last statement of the loop. Now what I'll do here is, let me comment this out and let me say switch true here. Now what will be the output? What do you think will be the output?
The first case, it means hi.
Hi.
Any other answers? Hi. It will print hi. I've commented
Mm,
this. Okay, let me remove this completely. Okay. Now what will be the output? Still hi.
mm.
Okay, let's see what will be the output. Okay.
Okay.
See, it says bye because none of
So
the cases are matched. So it will always print the default value. Now, if I give false as well, if I give false as well, it will print the same. It will print the same. This is the only difference in switch case where if in switch case, if we don't give the case matching values, I mean, if we don't give the variable name and if you don't create a variable and give a value and we don't match it, then it will always go to default. If we give true or false, or we can also say in this way, 1 equals to 1. This is also true, right? 1 equals to 1 is true, right? So if I run this as well, it will give me this. That is the reason in switch case, we should always create a variable. Okay. We should create a variable and give some value to it. Okay, it might be a number or string or a boolean, anything is fine. Okay, then we need to go ahead and match it with the cases. If we don't do that and if we only give true or false here, then it will always print the default value. Always print the default value. Okay.
Ashish, if we say switch 0 equals 0, it means false
0 equal to 0 is true, right? 0 equal to 0, 0 is equal to 0. Why it will be false?
because 0 it means false and 0 equals 1.
No. That is a Boolean value. That is a Boolean value. Boolean value is different. Boolean value is different. But here, what we are doing, we are comparing the numbers. The numbers. We are comparing the numbers. We are not comparing any Boolean. I mean, we are not comparing true equal to true. Nothing like that. We are not comparing in that way. We are comparing. Sorry. We are comparing real numbers. Real numbers,
It
not
can be
Boolean.
any number.
Any number. That is the reason I have taken an example. Okay, let me take an example of 9. Okay, 9 equals to 9. So this condition is true, right? 9 equals to 9 is true, right? Now if I run
Yeah.
this, see bye. Now if I say 9 equal to 10, which is false, when I run
Mm.
this is bye. Okay, so
I
it
believe,
will.
yeah, I believe that's true is you thought that way, like true is 1 and false is
Yes,
0. So that, yeah, I believe that you replace that.
yeah,
Okay, now
but
I understand.
yes, but that is Boolean values when we print it. Boolean, but here we are comparing the real numbers, not the Boolean value numbers. We are not comparing the Boolean true or false. We're just checking is 9 equals to 10. The output of this is false. The output of this is a Boolean value. But what
Mhm.
exactly we are comparing here? We are comparing real numbers. The what I can say real number. How can you say no, not prime numbers, real numbers. I mean the 1 2 3 numbers we can say, or also I can say in this way, minus 9 equal to minus minus 9 equal to minus 10. This is also false.
False.
Minus 9 equals to minus 9. Yes, this is
Yes.
true, but still it will print. So only in the switch case, we have to create a variable and give the variable name here. And we have to match the variable values with all the cases. And then none matches, then we should go for the default value. Okay. I mean, it will go, we will be right. This is how the syntax is. So here we are
Okay.
not using any true values or false value. I mean, this is the real numbers. and we are comparing real numbers, but the output of this is a Boolean value, true or false. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So nothing related to that true equal to 1 and false equal to 0. That is completely different scenario. That is completely
Mhm.
different scenario. Okay.
Yeah,
And
okay, thank you.
if I say now, did I talk about if? Yeah, I did, right? Now, if here as well, here as well, I can say 9 equals to 9. Okay. And then console dot log hi, oh, and then else console dot log. Oh, but okay. Now let me comment this out. Now, what is the output of? I mean, what is this? Is this true or false? What will be the output of this? Is
So,
it true? True, right? Now, what
Hi.
will? Yeah, what will be the output of this code?
hi,
Yes,
Hi.
true. And if I say 10 here, what will be the output of this?
bye.
Correct.
Bye,
So we
because
are
it's
not
false.
correct. So we are not comparing the true values. I mean, what is it? We are not checking the is the true value is the Boolean value is 1 or 0. We are checking real numbers. We are comparing real numbers here. Like we do mathematical operations, right? Like 9 plus 10 or 16 plus something, 16 into 78. So these are all real numbers. So that is what we are comparing here as well. We are not, but the output is always a Boolean value. Output is always a Boolean value. Okay,
Yes.
understood.
Yes, yes, it's clear.
Okay, great. Now we are done with the conditional statements. If well, if else, if else, and then switch. Now let's come to the loops. Okay, let's come to the loops. Now I'll create one loop, a for loop. Okay, let I equals to 0. Okay, and I'll give the condition as true, only true. Okay, I plus plus. Then I want to print console dot log I. I just want to print I. So what will be the output of this? I mean, what will be the output of this?
0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is
And
like
when it will stop?
Error.
it's
Error. Okay. And error is one of the answer. Okay. And so will
it
it
will not
continue or will it
yes,
stop?
it will not stop because there is no
Right.
because there's
It will Yeah, it will
incrementation.
never stop. It will just continue because we haven't given any false condition here. And Maniti, we will not get any error because the syntax is correct. The syntax is correct, and the condition we want, as we used in the if condition. Yes, in if, as we said true, in the same way when we do it here, when we can also give a condition here stating that true, but it will go into the infinite loop because we haven't said anywhere that it should stop. It should stop. Like the condition should go false. So it will always be true. I plus plus, it will always be true. And this I value will always be true. So it will never stop. It will go into the continuous loop. Same, same when you write further what they say while or do while as well, it will always go into the continuous loop because this we haven't given any false condition. We haven't said okay it should stop somewhere. So this condition will always be true, and incrementation will always be true, and it will be printing all the time. It will never stop. Okay. Now if I say false here, let me do one thing. Let me remove this. Okay. Let me comment this so that it will stop. Okay, now I'll uncomment this. Now, if I say false here, what will be the output?
It will not start
Is the output blank or it will?
blank, blank.
Okay, okay, correct. It will be blank. Now,
Mm,
let me write the same for while. Okay, let me write the same for while loop. Okay, while loop is let. I'll do one thing. I'll take a different uh, character, j equal to 0, and then while, and the condition I'll keep the same false, and then open close, then console dot log j, then j plus plus. Now, what will be the output of this? What will be the output of this while loop? What will be the
uh,
output of
J, J,
uh, what? Sorry,
J.
what will be j?
Mm.
Why will it print j?
Uh, because it's false. J is zero. It's false. It means
Why will
uh,
it print j?
it will not print anything because it's false.
Yeah.
Right, right. So
Yes,
that
while loop is false, so that it cannot.
correct. Same. It's the same. As I used a for loop, I changed this code into while loop. That is all I did. That is all I did. I didn't do anything extra here. So it will also not print anything. Now, now what I'll do is I'll write a do while loop. Okay. I'll write a do while loop. See what happens. Do while loop syntax is let k equal to 0. Oh, 0. It's 0. Okay. And do open close flower brackets console dot log k, then k plus plus, then at the last I say while, here I give false. Now what will be the output?
It will print. It will print
0,
like
1, 2 continue loop.
It
it's
will
yeah,
go continuous
yeah,
loop.
yeah, because there is incrementation.
Yes, k plus plus is there with do while loop, right?
Okay. And
No,
this
it
goes
will print only zero. It will print only zero.
correct, correct. It will only print 0. Why it will only print 0? Because
Because when like do while it will go in a do loop, right?
mm,
While it is false, so it will not go that part. Do is correct, so it will go to do loop, and it will console dot log. It will print zero because k is equal to zero. We have printed, but k plus plus we are doing, but we are not putting any log, right? So it will not increment that k value.
nah, actually, that is true. You know what exactly happens is in do while loop, only in do while loop, the code executes at least once.
Only one time.
Yeah,
Huh, huh.
at least once it will. I mean, yeah, it will at least once it will execute. When I say k equal to 7, okay, still it will print 7 once. Okay, the code execution
Yes,
is done
yes,
once.
yes,
Now
yes.
later it's incremented. 7 plus 1 is 8. Now it will come out of do block and it will check while condition is false, which means
False. That's
I need
why,
to, yeah,
yeah, it will not go increment.
yes, perfect. So it will stop the loop. So in only in do loop, only in do while loop, the code execution is done. I mean, executed at least once, please at least once. Not not for while, but only for do while. You can the code will execute at least once. And correct, you are absolutely right, Pankti. Right.
Ash,
Yeah.
Ashish, if the
Mm.
incrementation is outside of the curly brackets, it will go farther. It will go like 7, 8, 9, 10. or
Actually,
no?
okay, what is the syntax of do while loop? How do you write a syntax of do while loop?
This is what you wrote now. Is
Yes.
this
So this is the syntax. We will be not writing this incrementation outside the do block. Here we will be not writing it. This is a wrong syntax. When you're writing in this way and you're removing incrementation here and writing it outside the do block, then this is a wrong syntax. Then
okay?
definitely you will get an error. Definitely. Even if your code is correct, even what you want is correct, still when you're writing, when you're writing do, any syntax, it might be any loop or a conditional or anything which you're writing, the syntax is wrong, then it will not give you an expected results. Now let's run this and see what happens. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Error. Mm.
why? Because it's a syntax error. do while do while syntax is not this. It should, the incrementation should always be inside, but
Yes.
inside. So that
Okay.
is the
Yes. Yes.
reason. Yeah, that is the reason I prefer, when you know how to write, a syntax, then writing any code, any condition, any given condition is very easy, very 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 easy, very easy. Only you need to know the syntax. If you don't know the syntax, then it will be really hard for us to write any programming, any program or any code. Okay. So now, okay, let me remove this all. Let me keep this for loop. Okay, keep this for. Now let me uncomment this. I want to print uh, 1 to 10 numbers. Let's do one thing. I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. I'll start with I equal to 0 and I'll say I less than or equal to 10 and I plus plus. Okay, this will print from 0 to 10, right?
Yes. Because we start from zero.
Okay, 0 to 10.
Yes.
Okay. Now what I want to do is, what here I'll give an if condition. Okay, I'll say if uh let's say if I how I equals to 5. Okay, if I say I equals to 5, then I don't write any break or any or continue or any statement here. Okay. And neither I'll write any console log statement here. Let's see what will be the output. Okay. See, it's still printed 0 to 10. Why? Why it printed 0 to 10? And it also included 5. Why?
There is no break.
No, no, it's not about break. It's not about break or continue. Here we have written the console log, this statement outside if block. We have given it's outside if block. So that is the reason when I equal to 5, it doesn't know what to do. Okay. I think I went wrong. No, wait. Let me copy this. Yeah, I did wrong. Yeah, correct. So when I keep this outside, okay, when I keep this outside, now here, when I equal to 5, we haven't written any code here. We haven't said break, we haven't said continue, or we haven't written any console log statement. So this complete if block is ignored, and it will only consider this, and it will only consider this. It will completely ignore this because there's nothing to do perform task here. There's nothing to perform task here. So it will go ahead and print each and everything. But when you keep this console.log, okay, cut and paste in here, now what will happen? It will only print if I equal to 5, then only print that value. Only I equal to 5, only print this value. So it will only print 5. Now, let's say I cut this, okay, and paste it here. Now here I give break statement, okay. Here I give break statement. Now what will be the output?
It will print from 0 to 10, but not 5. 5 will not be printed.
It will print
It
0 to
will
10,
print 0 to 5.
0 to 5. Okay. Yeah, I'll actually I got confused yesterday with the break statement because the placement of the console.log statement was incorrect. That is the reason it was printing 5. I'll tell you it will only print 0 to 4. I'll tell you why. What I was doing wrong, okay? See, it will only print 4. Okay, it will not print 5 because I'll tell you why. Here 0
Yes.
and then 10 incremented. Okay, 0 and 10, first 0 printed, then incremented, 1 printed,
Uh,
incremented, 2 till 4. Yes, then if I equal to 5, break it.
5.
I mean, do not print it. What I was doing yesterday is I was copying this, I was pasting it here, I was pasting console.log here. That is the reason it was printing 5 as well, because it incremented till 5. It went ahead and incremented till 5. Then it saw this code. Okay, then it said, oh, I need to break it. Now when I 5 equal to 5, when it saw 5 equal to 5, then it stopped the loop. Then it stopped the loop. So always the trick here is, whenever you're using a break or a continue statement, never place your console.log statements above here. Okay, do not place it here. Always place outside the break and continue. Always. The reason being, after break, if you write anything, it will not print, it will not reach. This is unreached code. Okay, if I unreached code. Okay, now if I try to print this unreached code, it will not print. It will stop till 4 only. Okay, but if I write completely outside, this will print. This will go ahead and print. But after break, it will not reach. This code is never reached. After break statement in this block, this code is never reached. So, but if you place this console.log at the top, first it will print this, then it will check the condition. That is the reason it was stopping at 5. But it should not stop at 5, it should stop at 4 only. And in programming, the code is checked, the code is executed line by line, from top to down approach. I mean, when you debug as well, if you have ever come across debugging, okay, when if you have ever come across debugging, that is done from top to bottom. I mean, from top to down it will come. In the same way, the code is also executed from top to bottom. So it will come here, it will increment 5, it will increment 5. Actually, when it increments 5, this code should execute. But as we have written console.log at the top of if condition, it went ahead and printed 5. Then it stopped the loop. Then it stopped the loop. Same thing when you do the continue, that is also a problem. When you use continue, if you run this, see, it went ahead and printed each and everything. What exactly if we say if I equal to 5 and continue, what should be the output actually? What should be the output if I say if I equal to 5 and continue statement? Okay, let me cut this here. Okay, and paste it here. Now what will be the output? Let me comment this. Okay, now what will be the output?
5 will not be there.
5 will not be there, correct? Yeah, 5 will not be there. But if we accidentally place this at the top of continue keyword, then it will print 5 as well.
Yeah.
So
The
this is
condition
a
is not.
sorry.
Mm. It does not take in consideration
Correct,
the condition. Mm.
correct. When you use continue, it will, I mean, it will take consideration. It will say if I equal to 5, continue. it says, okay, when I equal to 5, I need to skip it. But what happened here? It already printed 5. It already printed
Yeah.
5. Why? Because we have placed console.log at the top of continue keyword. Same goes with the break as well. Same goes with the break. So, so actually it should not print 5, but it is printing 5. Why? Because we have placed console.log at the top. So the main trick, whenever you are writing any code for using this uh, break or continue statements, make sure that what exactly you want to print or what exactly you want to stop whenever you want to stop the loop, or what iteration you want to skip, then make sure that line of statement is after the code block. After the code block, I mean, once the code block is completed, then it should be printed. Then it should be written. Sorry, not printed. It should be written. Understood why exactly we need to use the console.log after the break and continue.
Yes, Ashish, we have to be careful of this brackets, this console.log, if it's before if or after if, and if there is break or there is continue. We have to be careful. Yeah.
Correct. Very, very, very careful. Very careful, because if you place it in wrong place, if you place it in a wrong place, then your expected output is will always be disturbing, very disturbing. And the saddest part is, let me tell you why exactly I'm so stressing on this, because mm, okay, where exactly I have written that, I think at the very last I've written it. Mm, 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 huh. See, harder to debug often, yes. Harder to debug sometimes. So let's say if it is a simple, let me remove this. And if there is something wrong here, if I said sorry, if I said greater than or equal to 10, and if I am getting an some if I'm not getting the right expected output, debugging this, I mean, checking this code where exactly I went wrong, is very easy. I mean, it will be easy once you know how to debug, it will be easy. But when you're using break statement or a continue statement, it is really hard to debug. It is really hard to debug, and it is really hard to check where exactly you're going wrong, because your code is completely correct. Your code is completely correct. There's no syntax error. There's no nothing. None of the symbols or none of the symbols or a syntax error. But the logic of your code is incorrect. The logic of your code is incorrect. That is really hard to debug. That is the reason, be very mindful whenever you're using break or continue keyword. And always, whenever you're using break or continue keyword, run once. Write your code, run once, and see, oh, I should not get 5. It should not be in the output. Then come here and see, okay, I placed console.log at the top of if condition. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and copy this. Let me place it after break, or let's say, let me place it here. Okay, run it. Oh, it's just printing 5, which is also not correct. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, cut it, and then I'll place after break. Now I'll run this. Then none is printed. I'll say, oh, this is also not correct. So what I'll do, I'll cut it and paste it outside the block. Now I'll run it. Oh, now I have the right output. Okay, this is how we can, I mean, this is very time taking, but still it's very beneficial. And because debugging might not help much when you try to debug when you're using break or continue keywords. So this is the way I can say which you can use to see if you are getting an expected output or not. Okay, understood. Hello.
Yes, Ashish. Yes.
Okay, great. Now, one last thing I wanted to discuss about is actually this is also code which I wanted to discuss. Okay, let's come. Okay, let me run this. This is also the same actually. When we run this, this is also the same. Yeah, this is the same. So we discussed about this. And sorry, where exactly? Huh, okay. Sorry. Uh, yeah, this is arrays and this. Did it copy here? Did it get copied? No. Okay. So one more thing, you can also write. Okay, for mm, let I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. You can also start with I equal to 1. That is also fine. Huh? You can also start with I equal to 1. That is now here if um let's say if I uh, I modulus of 2 equals to 0, and then uh, console dot log mm, uh, number. Here I'll concatenate with the variable name. I'll concatenate with the variable name. Now what will be the output of this? What will be the output of this?
The
Even
even
number
number
get
from 2 to
Printed,
10.
right?
2, 4, 6, 8,
Yeah.
10.
Now, correct. Now if I say 0 here, it will print 0 as well. Okay. Now, mm, if I say, okay, ha, I'll use else here. Okay, else, and then else. Okay, let me take this as even number. Let me name it as even number. Okay, and let me go ahead and copy this, paste it here, and name it as odd number. Okay, you understood why I used I here, right? Why I used I here?
Yes, we give you the numbers as well.
Correct. Okay. Now what will be the output? What will be the output?
The odd numbers.
Yeah, even and odd numbers, both, right?
Yeah.
Or only odd numbers?
And it's true. It means both.
Both, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Yeah, we have this, right?
Mm.
Now, what I'll do here is, I'll give some space. Okay. I'll use a negation operator here. Now, what do you think will be the output?
Only odd numbers.
Only odd number 3, 5,
Only odd numbers.
Yes.
yes,
And what will be the odd numbers? 3, 5, 7, 9, right?
9.
Yes.
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 Okay. Why did it print 0, 1, 2, 3, everything? And why did it say even number?
Oh, sorry. If block is false, that's why only else block will execute.
Only else block will execute. So else block is only odd
Yes.
number, but it also printed even number as well. I mean, if block also got executed. Why?
Negation.
Yes, negation. Okay, here what you need to do is, if we if we are confused with the logic, why exactly it printed 0, I mean odd number and even numbers, why did it state everything as 10? Why everything as even number and only 0 as odd number? We'll do. Okay. How do you check it? Where did it go? Yeah. How do you check it? Okay, let me do it. Okay, console dot log. Let's stop it here. Here, when you're when you're not when you're confused with the logic, always use the console.log statement. Where exactly you have used the logic, always use the console.log statement to check what is exactly is happening. Okay, I separated this line. Now what I'll do here is I'll just take this logic. I'll take the logic only this code, only this part of code. Okay, and I'll do one thing, console.log, and I'll paste that. Okay. Now, what is the first value of I? What is the first value of I? What is the first value of I?
0.
Okay, let me replace
0.
with 0. Okay, let me replace with 0. I'm only replacing 0. Okay, nothing else. Now I'll run this. It gave me false, right? What is the output? What is the output of this? False. False means if this is false, okay, if this is false, then what will be when this thing is false, what will be the output? It goes to odd number, and it printed odd number
Yes.
here. Now I'll change it to 1. Okay, now I'll run this. True, right? So true means it should print even number, so it printed even number. Then I said 2. Then it checked, okay, it's the output is true. The output of this condition is true, which means true. If it is true, then go ahead and print even number. Same it did for e from 1 to 10 numbers. Only for 0, only when we use 0, and when I ran this, as it was false, that is the reason it said odd number is 0. Everything else, as this the boolean value of this logic is true, that is the reason it always printed even number 1 to 10. Now if I say I starts at 1, then it will not print odd number at all. It will only print even numbers, because this is always true. I mean, 1 divided by 2 equals to 0, and when negation used, the output, the boolean value is always true. That is the reason it went ahead and printed each even number, but it printed 1 to 10 in even numbers only. So always use, if you don't understand the logic or if you are confused with the logic, just take the parts of the code, just take the condition parts of the code and print them and see what is the output, what is the boolean value output of it. Is it true or is it false? Same we do with this as well. Console.log, and we'll check.
Ashish, why?
Uh, why?
Mm.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Why they said even number for everything and they put both even and odd number here
Sorry.
without
Why? I did.
this? This is actually not correct. What? Why it's printed here
Hmm.
even number for all of them, but
Hmm.
actually they were not all of them even number. Like two, it's not. Like two is even, one is not even.
Correct. Did you understand
No,
why
it's
I did this part? Did you understand why I did this part?
this is to check, one by one, number by
Correct.
number,
Correct. So
the condition.
when, yeah, when this is true, what is the output of this? What is the output of this?
It's give us odd number.
No. Okay, let me run this only this code.
It's
Okay, what is the output of this? Let's see. Okay, it's true, right? True, right? Output
actually
of
it's
this.
not true.
Hmm?
It's not true.
Yes, it is
One
not.
divided by, it's not 0.
It's not 0, but the condition. But as we are using the negation operator here, and this complete logic, when we are printing it, when we are printing this complete logic, right?
Mm.
The output, the Boolean value output is true.
Yeah, but the negation of one, it
Hmm.
can be any number. It can be five. That's also, it does not work. It does not give an even number. Negation, it means anything that is not one. It can be like, another even number, another odd number.
Yeah, correct. It will not be equal to zero, correct. When 1 divided by 2, the remainder is not zero. The remainder is not zero. But the complete this part, the logic which we have given here, this
Mhm.
complete part, when we are using one by one I values, see what will be the we will check what will be the output of it, what will be the Boolean value output of it. As it says true, as it says true, that is the
Mhm.
reason it is entering this block and saying, yes, one is an even number. One is an even number. It is also saying two is actually an even number. Okay, it will print two. Okay, then it will print 3 it will also check. Okay, when we use 3 here, okay, when we say 3 here, is this correct? Is 3 divided by 2 equal to 0? Is it correct? No. But when we run this using the negation, and when we see the output, what is the output? It says true. It says true. The Boolean value says true.
And negation to four,
Negation to 4 as well, it will say true.
but
It will say true. This is what is happening at the back end. At the back end, I mean, actually, if I use true here, if I use only true here, then it will give me false. It will
yeah.
give me false. But as I'm using a mathematical operation here, oh, let me copy this. As I'm using a mathematical operation here, it will I value when it is incrementing, or it might be anything. It might be how can I say? Um, let me see. It's like it will check inside. It will say, okay, here it's true, but it should as we are using negation, it should give us as false. But this complete logic of code, it will print true only. It will print output as true only.
Okay.
You check, you try this code, okay, and see, try to analyze and see why exactly it is printing for all, why it is giving the Boolean value as true, it is giving a Boolean value as true. uh, only for zero it will give false. Only for zero it will give false. Apart from that, each and every other numbers, if you can say 67 as well, it will give true.
And why not zero?
Why not zero? Why not zero? Because zero. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let me go ahead and run that zero thing. Okay,
False. False gives
okay. Now
zero
let me do
negation.
one more thing. One more thing. Okay, let me write console dot log zero modulus of 2. Okay, and let me comment this. Okay, and run this. Okay, we have 0. Now if we say 1, I think this I cannot explain in this way. Nah, this will not be the right logic to explain. Actually, this is how you check. This is how you check. I mean, when something is, why exactly? I'll definitely come back to this. I'll give you an answer for this. I mean, why exactly this logic? This one gives you false only when divided by, when we are getting a modulus of 0, we are getting false. And apart from that, each and every number, why the output is always true. I'll get back to this. But my concept here was, when we are using when we are using something, and when we are using a negation operator and we are getting an unexpected results, then check, only take that part of code and see what is the boolean value of it. If it is true, then it should print even number. If it is false, then it should print odd number. For 0, when we divide by 0, when we say I equal to 0, then it is printing false. So that is the reason when we say here we are getting odd number. But apart from that, when we are using any other numbers, it is always saying true. That is the reason, as this is true, it is entering this block of code. But why exactly this is giving true, I'll definitely explain you in the next class. Okay, Nadia?
Uh, okay, okay, thank you.
No, no. If you want to explore, that is completely fine. Huh? If you want to explore and come back with an answer in the next session, that would be really great. That would be really great. But,
I
but
will ask.
yeah, yeah, please, please do ask. And but when it is 0, as this is false, we enter this block of code. And when, as we use any other numbers, not 6, huh? Let me do 9. Okay. Use any other numbers, as the Boolean value output is true, it is entering this block of code. And how can we check this? Just take this part of code and then console log it and see what is the Boolean value output of it. What is the Boolean value output? In this way also you can debug. This is also one way of debugging, to see, okay, if the code is running, what the output we are getting is correct or not. As this
Mhm.
is how it should be expected output. Yes, this is correct. But when we don't use the negation, then yeah, then we have the other way of output. Okay.
Yes, okay, I will check it.
Yeah, I will also check it, why exactly this. And
Using
everyone, yeah, everyone can check it, why exactly we this negation. I think negation has some effect. No, I'll definitely come back with an answer. But this is how. So always make sure, like debugging the break and continue, or using the negation, uh, and so make sure that, be very careful, and check, debug multiple times and see if your code works or not, as expected. Then go ahead and complete the script, and then yeah, you can go further with the another script. Okay. So especially this was like, I wanted to say this because, we might come across many issues when using this loops or break or jumping statements or negation operators. So this is how we can deal. This is one of the way which we can deal with the code, and we can correct our code. Okay. Understood.
yes, yes.
Great.
Yeah. So we are
Same.
already testing now, yes?
Sorry?
I think we are doing this is already part of the automation testing, yes?
Yes, yes, yes. It is. It is part of automation testing in Postman, as well as in Selenium, as well as in Playwright, Cypress, anywhere it will be applicable.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Same goes with Java and C Sharp as well. You can apply the same rules, same procedure, same standard, same logic in Java and C Sharp. Nothing different. Nothing different when it comes to loops or jumping statements or conditional statements.
Mm.
It's the same everywhere.
Oh.
And yeah, I just want you to practice this. I mean, this is also given in the documentation. This is given in the documentation. I don't want to discuss more about this continue or break keywords, because we have done enough. I feel we have done enough, and it's you who have to practice, and you who have to understand the code and see where exactly we are going wrong and how to fix it. But the very trick, the small very trick is, always put your console statement after the block of break or continue. After, here we have, as we placed after break, after this block of code we have placed console. Same here, after this continue we have placed console log statement. So this is a trick which will really help you in when debugging gives you hard times, in checking where exactly we went wrong when we used break or continue keywords. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now coming to arrays. Okay. Uh, okay. So how can we create an array? Okay, let me. Hmm. Okay, what is the syntax of creating an array? How? Okay, let me ask. How can we create a number array? Only the numbers array.
Integer.
No, no. We don't have
Let's
integer.
Let. Okay.
names.
Okay. Let. Let.
Let. Mm,
Array name.
okay. Let me go with array name only.
Okay.
Mm,
And equal to, we need
mm,
to like put
square
that
brackets.
bracket.
Huh.
Yeah, full bracket. Hmm.
And
And then we need to give a number, a
yeah,
comma, another number.
perfect. Okay.
Console.
Okay. Now, how can we create a string array? How can we create a string array?
It's the same, but instead of the numbers, we
Hmm.
can write the strings. What?
Correct. Correct. Mm, and can we go ahead and write multiple data types in an array? Can we create an array with multiple
Yes,
data
yes,
types in JavaScript? Yes, right?
yes,
Okay. We can
Yes.
do
Yes.
that. Yeah, we can do that in that
And
way
it's
also. So 1, 2.9, single character, then a string, then we have. So this is how we create arrays in JavaScript. There's two more ways, but that is not recommended. Why? Because okay, this is one of the way where we say let or const anything that is fine, and we give the array name, okay, and then we give the array keyword, the name array keyword, then we specify the size of an array. Like let's say if I have let's say if I have 100 students in a class, okay, 100 students in a class, then I will specify the number 100 here. I'll specify the number 100 here, okay. Let's say okay, someone said okay, you will be having 100 students in your class, okay, but I had very less students. So when we create this array of 100 students, and if we have 60 or 70 students only in the class, then other 30 or 40 spaces or the memory which has been uh, kept for this array is wasted. That is the reason we mostly don't go with this approach. This approach. Only when we know like yes and yes only, like there will be 10 students only, and they will definitely be 10 students, then you can go ahead and create in this way, but mostly we will don't use it. And the other way is we give the same let and array name, and then this is another way of creating an array, which is using the new keyword and then giving an array and then giving the values here. We don't give a size here, but we give the values. How many values we want, we provide it here. But this is also not used. So I'll go. It's just for the general knowledge. Okay, only just for the general knowledge. Nothing apart from that. We will not be coming across this way of creation of arrays at all. We will not be coming across this. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Okay, this is also one of the ways where you can create arrays. Okay, now what is an array? Array is a combination of multiple values. We can write in one array, and array is one of the object type in JavaScript, right? We have seen it, right? Like console dot log
put like
type of
JSON.
type of array name. What we get the output? Object. Okay. Yeah, object. See, so array is also one of the object in JavaScript, one of the object type, data type in JavaScript. Why object? Because we can have multiple values, multiple values with multiple data types. I mean, different data types can be stored in one variable. One variable can store multiple values and different data types. That is the reason it is an object data type. Object data type in JavaScript. Okay. Great. Now, how can you access? How can you access the values? Okay. In accessing the values, I'll come here. Let me paste it here. Okay. In accessing the values, always an array starts with 0. Its indexing starts with 0. It doesn't start with 1. It starts with 0. So if you want to access the first number or the first element in an array, then you need to use in this way. I mean, let me console.log, and you give the array name, then in square brackets you give the index value, of it, then it will give us the output as 61. Now uh, if I want to get the value of 94, should I change from 0 to what should I change it to?
3.
Yes, 3. Okay. Now if I say 5 here, what will be the output? What will be the output?
Nothing.
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 Nothing. Okay, let's see. See, it says
And
undefined, which means it can't find it. It can't find
this
it.
is
But in other programming languages like Java, C Sharp, there you will get out of bounds, out of bound or out of length, something, that error message. But in JavaScript, you don't get it. You will get undefined, which means it cannot find this value. It cannot find this value. Now, let me go ahead and array name. Okay, Ashish, John, mm, Mark. Okay, here, what is the index value of John? What is the index value of
one.
John?
1.
1,
One.
right? Okay, let me go ahead and console.log. What should I write in here to print John?
Array name.
Okay, array name.
And in the bracket, we
Hmm.
need to, yeah. 1.
We need to give 1, right?
Yes, 1.
Yeah. So give semicolon. Okay, so this is how you can access any value in an array. You can access any value in an array by using the indexing is nothing but numbering, giving a numbering to the elements in an array, and it always starts with 0. Please do not forget this. Always indexing starts with 0 in an array. In any programming language, you take any programming language, the indexing of an array starts with 0 only. It will start with 0 only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll check how can we check the length of an array. Okay, we'll check how can we get the length of an array. Okay. mm, Let me paste it here. Okay, now let me remove all these things. Okay, let me try this. Okay, so let me comment this as well. Okay, now let me go ahead and okay this setting. So this yep. Let me comment this as well. Now, if I want to know the length of it, okay, let's say I got an array, okay, and there are n number of elements, very large array, where, and I want to know the length of it. I want to know the length of it. So here, tell me the length. Just guess what will be the length of this array. What will
Four.
be the 4?
Four.
Why 4? Why not
Because
3? because it ends with 3. So it should be 3, right?
No, but there are like how many?
Yes, correct. So the length of an array is always indexing plus 1, the end element plus 1. That is the length. I mean, that is the length. Always the length starts with 1. Tap, 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 tap. 1, then comma, 2, 3, and 4. This is how the length is calculated. This is how the length is. Okay, let me take some spaces. 2, and then 3, and 4. Yes. So this is how the length is calculated. But the indexing starts with 0, but the length calculation starts with 1. Okay, very important rule. Very, very important rule. So indexing starts with 0 and the length starts with 1. Okay. Now, let's say if I've given some very, I mean, very go ahead and let me go ahead and create some larger. Okay, this is how my array is. Now, if I ask, if I ask, can you get me the last element of an array? Okay, how do you check what is the length of an array? How do you check the length of an array? Same in this way, right? My array dot length. Okay, okay, sorry, I forgot to explain this. Okay, this length. Okay, now tell me. Okay, pen. Okay, let me just. There are two things with an uh I can say with an object. There are two things, one being a property and the second being a method or function. Now, what is the color of this pen? uh, what is the color of this
Blue.
pen? Blue. And okay, and what is the color? Okay, and what does the pen do? What does the pen do?
right, right,
Right. Okay, so here color is a property. Color is a property, and writing is a method. Writing is a function. It is a task. What is the task of a pen? It's writing. So writing is a method. And what color is the pen? Or does the pen has a cap or not? Uh, and these all are, and which company the pen belongs to. So that is what a property is. Property is defined in that way, and the work done by that particular object is called a method or a function. So here pen function is writing or drawing or scratching, I can say. And but the property of pen is it's blue color. It is Reynolds company. It is like some this amount of price. This is all our properties. But the functions are writing, drawing, scratching, or something. That is the functions. Same way in arrays, this dot length is a property. This is not a function. Okay, what is the how can we write a function? I mean, how can we write a function or a method? What exactly how exactly can I write a function or a method? Like yesterday we discussed make t. How can I write make t as a function? How can I write make t as a function? If I write make t here, is this a function? Is it a function or method?
method.
No, no, no. I'm missing some syntax here. I'm missing some syntax. What is the syntax that I'm missing?
We need to give arguments.
Yes, not arguments, the parenthesis. I mean the bracket.
Parenthesis,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
in the
This,
parenthesis, yeah.
yes, this is called as a method or function. I mean, always a method or a function comes along with this parenthesis. Okay, writing pen, writing. Okay, writing. If I say for pen, if I want to write a function, then I will say in this way, writing or with a parenthesis, drawing with a parenthesis. But when it comes to property, then I need not to write that. I need not to give that parenthesis. Just need to say blue color or Reynolds company. So this is all I need to do. This is all I need to write. No parenthesis required. So here, this dot length, is it a property or a method?
It's a method.
It's a method.
No, I think it's a property.
Correct. Why it is a property?
Property.
Yes. Why it is a property? Because we haven't given any parenthesis.
Even parenthesis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Close
So
bracket.
that is the reason it is a property. And to check to check the length of an array, we use length property. We just use length property. See, length is one of the property in arrays. Length counting starts from 1 and not 0. Okay, I've given all these comments in the documentation. You can read through it, but still explaining. So this is a difference. Method needs parenthesis. Method or function, you can call anything. It's one and the same. It needs parenthesis, but property doesn't need parenthesis. So how can we check the length of an array? We say array name dot. We say array name dot length. We give length, which gives us the length of an array, Now, how can we access the last element of an array? How can we access the last element of an array? Now, let's say we say index starts with 0, right? Index starts with 0, but the length starts with
Yes.
1. Length starts with 1. Uh, so if in here, uh, okay, let me copy this. Hmm, let me copy this. Okay. And let me. Okay. What is the last index of this array? What is the last index of this array? Index number of this array. What is the last index number of this array?
3. मतलब
3.
94.
Yes. And what is the length of this array?
4.
4.
Right.
Oh,
So
Yes.
index is equal to 3 and length equal to 4, which means 4 minus 1 equal to 3. So we are getting the index number when we decrease by 1, right? When we decrease by 1, we are getting the index number, index value, right?
The index minus 1, it becomes the length.
No, not index minus 1. Length minus 1 becomes we get the index value, right? When
No,
we
no,
say
index plus 1.
yeah,
Index
yes, yes.
plus
Yeah, index
become the
plus 1, we get the length. Yeah. So now we have the length property. We have length property, right? So with length,
index.
sorry?
Index is also property.
No, index is not a property. Index is not a property. Index Indexing is just like we are giving numbers, we are giving addresses, to the elements in an
We
array.
attribute.
We are just giving addresses. Okay, this is on 0 address, this is on 1 address, this is on 2 address, this element is on 3 address. It is just the addresses. It is not a property. Length is a property. Index we haven't used anywhere. We haven't used dot index. Do you see anywhere we are using dot index?
No, no.
So it's just like addressing the elements in an array. So as we can get the last index of an array when we minus 1, when we do length minus 1, length value minus 1, we get the last index value. So how can if we have a lengthy array and we cannot count all the numbers, what we do is we go ahead and write my array. Okay, my array dot length minus 1. which means first my array dot length. This is what we have written here, okay, which gives the length of an array. Then we are decreasing by 1, which gives okay, let me distribute this. Okay, let me divide this. Okay, and let me take this out. Okay, and let me submit. Okay, now what we will be getting the index value, right? We'll be getting the last index value, right? If we run this, we will be getting the last index value, right, of an array.
Mm, yes, yes, because we did
Okay.
-1.
Yeah. So we, what did I do wrong here? Mm, I think I need to put this in square brackets. Now it should. Yeah, we got it right. We got 14. Now I want to know the value. I want to know the element value that is placed in 14. How can I get the value? How can I get the value of which is placed in index 14?
You write
We
index.
we did this earlier. Like if I want to get the value, if I want to get the value of element value of any index, then what we do?
Console.log, and we need to put in a parenthesis array name.
Yes. So that is what I did here. That is what I did. I said my array one, and I want this one. I want this one, and I got the number. Now, if you have run this, if you have run this earlier, okay, if you have run this earlier, and you said okay, 14 is the length, then I can use in place of this my array dot length minus one. I can also use the number here, index number. Then it will give me the value of the which is the last one. Understood?
Yes, Ashish.
Yes, Ashish.
Okay. See, first what I did, I checked the length. I mean, I got the index, last index value. Okay. And using this index value, I went ahead and placed it here so that I got the element value of the array, the last element value of an array. Okay. How do you access? I mean, how do you access any element in any element value in an array? It's in this way, right? My array one, then give square brackets, then say if I want to get the first value, then I'll say 0. So I got 61. In the same way, I got the last index value. I got the last index value, which is 14. So I used 14 here. Then I got the element value. Understood?
Yes, Ashish.
Okay, great.
Yes,
And if you want to update any value, if you want to update any value in an array, if you want to update any value in an array, then you just need to do one thing. You just need to say my array with the index value and update the value and give some new value here. Or I can say here, and then say, okay, now I need to print it once again. It printed, it updated, right? After 72, it is 83, but it updated with Ashish, right? It updated or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So first, if I print the same here, the console.log, if I print it here, okay. See, here it is 83. What I did is, I said I want second index value to be updated to Ashish. So I just gave equals to sign and then given the value here. Then I printed the array once again. Then I see Ashish has been updated here. Okay, great.
yes, Ashish.
Is it clear till here?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, great. Now we'll come to next part. Okay. This is nothing but I've checked the length and length minus one, and then type of, I just printed it. I mean, first what I did, I checked the length of an array. Okay. Then I checked the last element of an array. I printed the last element of an array. Then printed the type of an array. Right. That is all I did here, right? In these lines.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we'll come to this nested array on Friday. We'll come to this nested array on Friday. And uh, okay, because that is a completely different topic and it takes time. And we need to go ahead and do this. Yeah, we'll do it on Friday. We'll do it on Friday. But what I request is, I'm pretty sure you haven't done the programs which I've given for assignment, right?
Yes, we did this in the weekend.
Okay.
We
So the
finished
weekend,
by the
uh,
time.
okay, fine. Okay, no worries. So on Friday, I'll go ahead and complete this array, and we might start strings on Friday. But I think the arrays topic itself is a bigger topic, so we might take the complete Friday. Then we'll jump into strings and its methods and uses. Then yeah, then it will be objects and functions. Okay. So is it all clear till here? Is it all clear
Yes,
till
yes.
here?
It, it's clear, yes.
Okay, break, continue, conditional, and sorry, loops and jumping statements, and how to debug, how to check when we use the break and continue keyword, and how to create an array, how to access a value in an array, and how to update a value in an array, and the length, everything is all clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Great. So we will be meeting on Friday, and we will be completing the arrays. Is it
Okay.
boring or is it all okay?
Um,
No,
can we?
it is not boring.
Okay, great. That's good to hear. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. So we'll meet on Friday. And once JavaScript is completed, then when we jump into Postman, it will be like 1 week sessions, 1 week sessions. That is all. 1 week to 2 week sessions in Postman. That is all we will be doing, because there's nothing much to. Once we know the programming and once we know how to write the code, then it's just we play with the code on Postman tool. So it will be nothing much, max 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks to discuss on Postman. So it will be quickly done. Then yeah, then we will be performing 2 sessions of performance testing using APIs. Then I think we are we are good to go, right?
No, we will do CI/CD as well, right? Jenkins or something.
Sorry, CICD. Yeah, that will be Git and GitHub Actions. Yeah, that will be some 1 2 sessions. Then yes, then yeah, then
Do we know? Do we do like a Jenkins?
no, not Jenkins, not Jenkins, not Jenkins, not the
Okay.
Jenkins part. It will be GitHub. If uh yeah, let me see if I can cover Jenkins as well. But as of now, it will be Git and GitHub Actions. Will Because Jenkins, in order to get Jenkins, we have to set that up in our systems first. I mean, we need to create a
Yes,
port.
yes, yes,
Yeah, that port thing is a
yes.
little lengthy process and little difficult at times.
But we
Mm.
will do a Postman code, right? So after that, we will not able to do that Jenkins.
We can do the same thing on GitHub Actions as well. GitHub Actions is also an alternative for Jenkins. Yeah, Jenkins is
But
yeah,
always in a job
yeah,
description, they are asking for
I
Jenkins. So
know.
that's why I'm asking for
I know, I know.
Jenkins.
Yeah, I know. I do really understand. Okay, let me see if I can cover, because first of all we need to set that up. Okay, let me see if I can cover Jenkins. Okay, I will try. I will
Okay.
definitely try to uh, connect
Yeah,
with
I can
Jenkins.
understand because it is a tough. I
Yeah,
actually I know it is a tough because I have tried,
yes.
but
If
it is a tough.
we have to create jobs. We have to connect with
Yes,
Postman,
yes,
and if
yes.
we come across any issues now, I'm not that familiar with Jenkins.
Yes,
So
yes, I actually understand. It is
yeah.
very much tough in
Mm,
Jenkins. I
true.
actually know,
Yeah.
but
But
if it is possible, then
Yeah, yeah,
it
sure,
is.
sure. If it is
Yeah.
if it is possible, definitely I'll cover that. I'll cover if I get through it, if I don't come across any issues when creating jobs and running jobs in Jenkins, then I'll definitely take 1 2 weeks of session of only on Jenkins along with Docker if needed, Docker as well. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And after
I,
this, all this session,
Mm.
can we do playwright or Selenium something?
Okay, right on Selenium. Yeah, I'll come to that. Okay, first playwright. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me show you one thing. Okay, just curious to know, how many of you are learning the Selenium or Jenkins? Sorry, not Jenkins. Selenium or Playwright?
I
not
know
me.
Selenium. I know Selenium, but I have
Okay.
not tried for Playwright. I don't know about the new. It's a new tool, right?
Yeah,
It,
yeah, it's a new.
advanced version of Selenium. So yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So how exactly you have started Selenium? I mean, first you started with programming languages, or you directly jumped into Selenium?
No, no, no. Programming languages like we will do something program in Postman or something, right? After that, we will jump in a Selenium part.
Mhm. No, when you learned Selenium, how did you learn? How did you take the approach?
Yeah,
Was it
first of all, I need to just learn to Java. Suppose I'm giving an
mm,
example. I
mm,
need to learn a Java, right? After
mm,
that, I have started to code, and
mm.
after that coding, we will move to Selenium, like how to do a driver or Chrome driver or launch the driver and everything. So yeah,
Yes,
this is the way I'm like doing the same thing.
yes. And there's one more suggestion. Uh, First thing, do not jump into Selenium or Playwright or Cypress directly, because that is really not recommended and that is not the way we need to approach. Second
Yes,
thing,
yes, definitely.
yeah, thank you. You are absolutely right. And the second most important thing is, we need to have very core minimum knowledge of HTML and CSS. Very important. Very important. Because
For the XPath, right? You are talking
XPath,
about the
CSS,
XPath.
or DOM structure, when you're navigating through, console, when you're navigating through, the elements in a DOM structure, we need to understand very basic of HTML and CSS. That is more than enough.
Yes, yes, yes. But it is easy if we do a practice for
Yes,
XPath, then it is easy. It is not required much knowledge about the HTML or CSS. It is
correct,
not required, but it is
agreed,
easy when we do a practice.
correct, agreed, totally agreed. So first, learn the programming language very thoroughly, very thoroughly, then jump into these tools. Then it will be easy for you to practice or do things. So yep. So Selenium, then I need to jump into Java. And for Playwright, JavaScript is more than enough. I just need to add this, what they say, oops concepts in JavaScript, and then TypeScript, a little of TypeScript.
Yeah,
For
that is perfectly fine. If you will cover a playwright, that is perfectly fine. But I'm just asking if you
Yeah.
are, yeah, if you will do, it's beneficial for us as well. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm asking.
I don't have plan as of now, but definitely I'll think about it. Definitely I'll think about it. Yeah, once this postman thing with yeah, everything, I mean JMeter and everything is completed, then let's see how it goes so that I can start with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
sure, sure.
I'm always available in playwright or whatever Selenium. You will
Thank you.
start. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Thank you so
always
much.
available.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so that is all for today. So thank you everyone, and I'll definitely give a thought for it. And let's see. So first, and do practice this conditional loops and jumping statements, because this is very important and very much used in coding. So please do practice. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
Have a nice
Bye
Ashish.
bye.
bye bye.